Yes, come on, sit down. It's Artemis Underhill here once again, blah, 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 you know what, charming yes, charming no. We have the Tales of Theldan to get back to, people, and this is where the story really heats up. To the last man's spire our adventurers go, to dive into its catacombs and to find its mysteries. But can they solve those mysteries? What evils are really bored within the catacombs and within its halls? Let's go to the last man's spire together and see exactly what trouble our adventurers get themselves into. The horses travelled through the mountainside, through the hillside, and for some reason, to keep time moving almost, you managed to get a full night's sleep upon the horses' backs. It was impressive. It was impressive lumbar support for yourselves, but you had a good, 6 hours sleep almost. So
that's pretty good, actually.
That's pretty good. You got a full 6 hours sleep. You then awoke from the sunny, bright, beautiful landscape has now been replaced with a dark, dreary cemetery.
We're in a cemetery?
You're in a cemetery.
Well, the horses are supposed to stop outside the quest locations, not take us into the quest locations.
The horses have stopped directly in the center of the cemetery. Before you are several rows of gravestones, and then also one giant tomb lingers before you.
I was going to hop off my horse and head straight up to the tomb. Can I read anything on the tomb?
On the tomb, written above, written in common, is the words, "Here lies the first lord, the last lord, the lord of the last spire."
I get off my horse, walk over, read it. Last spire, hey? That was the last name spire. We've got to collect the rod. Right place, I reckon.
I've got a funny feeling that this is going to be the secret entrance that we've been told about, but let's have a poke around first.
In the distance, in the background of this scene, you see built into the side of the mountain this Gothic castle, almost etched out of the mountainside. The wind seems to howl from its direction. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
I lean off to the side, like a little bit to my left, so I can see just creeping out the back of the thing and go, oh, hey, look at that. There's a big Gothic castle just looming in the background.
I also get off my horse.
The horse
just
is...
so I'm also off. Yeah.
You get off the horse and you kind of dust yourself down. As you do, the three horses in unison, kind of like as if they're on some kind of track, kind of start cantering off in another direction.
Goodbye, fast-travelling cinnamon.
We didn't have any stuff on them, did we?
No, you've generally got everything in your bags.
Good. At least we know they'll be back when we need them next.
That's always important. Right, well, I kind of turn around to face my companions. Are we going? Are we going?
Do we want to get in contact with Rodak so they can cause a distraction, or do we want to go straight in and snoop around a little bit? Or
I'm keen to go straight in.
Are we assuming the castle is the spire place that we've talked about?
I'm assuming if I go into this here,
Tomb.
I'll go under the tomb, and then we'll end up inside the castle.
does it say anything in the book about that being the case?
Yeah, you've read through the book on your journey. You managed to... a handy kind of desk kind of magically popped out of the horse, so you found it quite comfortable to read the book.
A desk out of the horse?
They're fancy horses.
It was quite amazing.
Wow,
gadget
this
of
magical
horses.
world, man.
This magical
Crazy.
world, man. It's crazy. When the desk did magically appear, both Charlidros and Lief were both quite annoyed with the 5 minutes of, wow, this is awesome. Did you see that? Wow, that was so cool. Did you see it? The desk came out of my horse. Look.
Of course I was.
Sounds accurate.
One thing we agree on.
Yeah.
You found in the book that the last spire is directly connected through a set of tunnels to this tomb that was generally used as an escape mechanism for the lord and lady of the house.
Knew it. Who's coming?
Okay.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Well, you all sound mean as beans, don't you?
I'm
Yous all need to cheer
kicking the
up.
shit out of the tomb doors and busting a move straight in there.
Just remember that castle's full of witches.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I got this.
I ain't afraid of no witch.
Before you start kicking it in, I will give you some warning. You do know this is like a giant stone slab of a door.
Okay, maybe I will. I'll not kick it. I'm just going to hurt myself.
I just saw you wind up for a big kick there. Why'd you back down?
I thought it was boarded up, but on closer inspection, it appears to be stone.
I think you need your eyes inspected there, Charizard.
My eyes are fine.
Are you sure?
I think you need your drinking problem looked into.
It's not a problem until you make it one.
No, it's not a problem until you make it a problem for our quest. So,
Hasn't been a problem yet.
yet being the operative word.
Yet is always the operative word.
Let us find a way into this tomb.
Okay.
Does there look like there's a handle or some way to
There is
open it?
two giant golden gilded, like, kind of rings.
How'd you miss that?
Well, he's blind, as we just found out, and I'm drunk as always. All right. Handles. I grab onto one of the handles and begin pulling.
It actually is lighter than you would expect. Like
I fall on my ass then, I guess. I pulled at it with huge strength.
Sounds like I could have kicked it down.
Yeah, you kind of tumble as you pull. You roll down the steps slightly in a bit of a heap. As the door opens up wide, you get the dank, musty smell of rotting flesh. Old kind of sour water rushes through and out into the air.
The smell of adventure, hey lads?
I gag a little bit.
Fantastic.
Do you want me to write a message to Oryx to cause that distraction before we go in?
I don't trust him.
What? You're only bringing this up now?
Well,
We've been
No,
writing for
he-
like a day and a half?
He had beef back at the training grounds or whatever.
I never trusted him. Why are we going to trust him now?
I
Well-
trusted him just fine.
Because the alternative is us facing the whole wrath of the witches in there?
By ourselves.
Yeah.
I reckon I can handle it.
I reckon you're full of shit.
I take offense to that. I reckon I could handle it. But if yous want to seek help from someone we don't really know, I
I
guess
don't really know
can-
you. No
Excuse me.
offense.
We've been traveling together for X amount of days now, and you have no trust for me.
I do have a little bit of trust. I'm just saying, you need to have trust in. Actually, you make a very valid point.
I've seen the amount you drink.
I don't know how that has to do with trust.
I just get out the paper and I write a note to Oryx saying, "Hey, we're at the Spire. Could you please cause that distraction right now? That'd be helpful."
What, can we give him a sign when we need the distraction to be?
I don't know how we're
Called,
going to do. How would we do that?
Well, just I don't
Does
know.
this paper vanish, or does it? How does this paper work?
You have no idea.
How do you know? How do you know how that paper works?
I don't. I just
That's
know.
my see.
He said just write on it and he'll get the message. So
Yeah, that's what they all
Maybe just
say.
let him know we're going into the tomb now. and we'll be going through the passages to get to the castle itself.
What is this, a two-way parchment? You guys are full of it.
It wouldn't surprise me.
All right. I write, Dear Mr. Oryx, sir, we are entering a secret passage into the spire. Please send help. Thanks. Cornelius, that human wizard guy you met before.
Can you write hi from me?
Lief says hi.
As you write, as your quill leaves the page each time, the letters almost like melt into the paper, disappearing completely. You sit and you wait, and then about a minute later, a thumbs up appears on the page.
I don't know why we waited a minute for that.
A minute, and all he sends back is a thumbs up. A thumbs up.
How detailed
I
is
write,
the thumb?
can you please be more detailed in what you're doing?
Do we need to give you a sign?
You wait about 30 more seconds, and then you see 3 images appear on the paper. A smiley face, a sword, and an explosion.
He speaks in hieroglyphics.
I'm impressed you know what hieroglyphics are.
I'm a scholar.
Just because you own a book doesn't make you a scholar.
I don't know if you know what I do, but I travel I do drink a lot, but I also travel the world, writing, experiences, learning. And just because I enjoy the drink, at the same time, I'm a scholar, sir.
Well, let's put that experience and scholarship to good use, shall we? Let's get inside this tomb.
Do you want me to respond in hieroglyphics?
Sure.
I grab the parchment and I respond with a confused looking face with a face on chin and a face with hands up in the air in a fashion, and then another face of and then an explosion, and then a party balloon, and then a kiss, and then I'm like, oh, whoops, and then I cross the kiss out, and then I draw an extra happy face and say, good luck.
Down the bottom of the page, as it melts, there's like 3 little dots appear, like dot, 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 dot. The dots disappear, and it says scene. It says scene with a tick next to it.
I hold up the parchment and go, I don't know if I'm pretty smart. I've figured out the system to this. This means he's seen our message. And by our message, I mean my message. And he's not responding.
Do
you think I should send another one?
Absolutely, you should.
I go back to the parchment and I put a heartbreak, a heart that's broken, a heart that's broken, a heart that's broken, a crying face, an extra teary face, heart that's broken, and then a question face with a confused looking face, and then ask, why don't you reply?
Wow, you're really good at those hieroglyphics.
I'm a scholar.
As the page, almost instantly, as the ink disappears, a small message appears in italics. Oryx is away.
I rip the parchment in half and chuck it on the ground.
What? Why'd you do that for?
It's broken.
Oh, Christ. I thought I said we should go inside.
The parchment actually starts to vibrate on the floor as if it's being nudged.
Sort that out, Cornelius. See if you can put it back together.
I try and put it back together.
Without any kind of like substance, you can't really, like a sticky kind of. You just kind of stood there idly trying to like mash 2 pieces of paper together.
I just put it in my bag.
Put it in your bag, okay.
I'll fix it later.
Let's go into the
I'm going headfirst into the tomb now that the door's open.
I'm following.
You enter to a recently spawned tomb. 2 caskets sit on small plinths either side of the room, but the room is fairly bare.
Not a great deal in here.
Can I Can I just like scan the room for anything that looks out of place that could be like a secret door trigger or something like that?
Sure, roll a perception check.
Yep. 6.
Can I do the same?
You can, yeah. All of a sudden you realise this is probably the tomb that the Lord of the Last Spire was buried in.
It did say that above the door. It would make a lot of sense. What do you see, Cornelius?
That tile looks very clean. Like it.
Okay, cool. Do you want to look for something that's helpful?
I go over and touch it.
You go over and touch it, the other two being stood at the door. All of a sudden, the floor tiles you stood on, flip downwards into a slide and you slip into the cracks.
Oh, not this again!
Did he go?
I'm going to go up and touch the tile also, having observed Cornelius do it.
You touch the tile and once again the floor falls from beneath you into a slide, you slip down.
Whee!
You have watched exactly what's happened. You are currently alone with the two coffins either side of you, alone in the room.
Can I stand? Was the hole, so the way you've drawn the holes, like I could stand on the side of where it opens up and press the button?
It closes each time in between each.
Yeah, but like there's this tiny gap on each side, the way you've drawn it.
Yeah, you'd be able to stand it. Yeah, you'd be able to stand it.
Can I stand off the side, then touch the tile, and then have it open up so I could look down?
Yep. You stand there, you kind of tip with your big toe, you kind of press down on the tile. The floor like opens up into like a black descent. You can't really see much as a second later the tiles close up again.
I just mumble to myself, well, fuck that. Alright, well, I just think, well, they could be dead. I'm going to press on it again, but as it opens, yell out, "Are you alive?"
You get no response.
Cool. I'm gonna leave the crypt.
As you go to leave, your book flies out of your bag and kind of starts snapping at you.
I'm like, what the fuck? What do you want?
It kind of snaps and like backs away just out of your reach.
And I'm like, if you don't get down here and tell me what the your problem is, I'm just leaving. You can go down there with them.
It kind of flaps again and then backs a little further into the tomb.
Oh my god. I just like march towards it.
You march towards it. It keeps flapping at you as you march towards it and march towards it.
I'm just still arms out like...
Arms out. As you're grabbing it, all of a sudden, as the book kind of hits the back wall, it falls and smacks directly into the tile. Before you realise it, the floor kind of like opens up below you and you have like that cartoon split second of realisation of what's just happened.
Oh, you motherfucker.
As you say, "Far," you fall down the tunnel. As you fall down, you can see you slip and fall, and you can hear rushing water beneath you. And then all of a sudden, you hit something extremely hard. Thunk!
Have I landed?
You've landed on this thing, but the surface is quite bumpy.
Are all
Is
three
anyone
of us
around me?
there? Yeah.
Just me?
Well, as you realise that it's bumpy because you've landed on your two companions.
Oh.
So we've just been lying there this whole time?
No, you two stood up and started to have a look around. Thinking it was quite odd that he hadn't followed you yet. As you looked up, you didn't really have a time to react as the half-elf came flying down the hole.
Oof. You took your sweet time, didn't you?
Well, to be honest, I thought yous died.
Why would you have thought that?
Because you fell into a fucking black hole in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, but we know this to be an escape tunnel from the castle out that way, so there has to be...
Would you see a way
has to be
up from the
reasonable.
castle?
To be fair, it doesn't make sense that an escape tunnel would have a giant
Hold
slide
down.
drop. Yeah. I mean, that's just bad workmanship.
You have no imagination.
As you start bickering, all of a sudden the slide above you opens up again. Sliding down and falling perfectly into Dylan's hands is the book.
Oh, yeah, now here you come. Good job. And I just put it back in my bag.
Before you put that away, does your book know anything about where we are?
It has no f***ing clue. And it's now in the naughty corner.
Does my non-sentient book know where we are?
You're expecting to be somewhere quite different. As you look below, you can see rushing water that only goes up to about to your ankles below you. The tunnel that in the book says leads directly to the castle seems to be completely collapsed in with these kind of like green vines with small yellow buds sticking out of them.
Do I know what the vines are? What kind of plant?
Roll a nature check for me.
This is going to go well. 10.
10. They're pretty. They're not yet developed or anything, so you're not really sure exactly what they would manifest into.
I feel like I can start hacking away at them with my whips to see if I can clear the way.
Before he starts, can I quickly see if I know anything?
It's not just vines, though. It is boulders as well.
Yeah.
It's like they're kind of like the boulders have collapsed in and the vines have kind of grown over the top of them.
Can I look through my book and my memory? See if I know what the bulbs are.
Yep, sure. Roll a nature check.
19.
19. You kind of flick to the page and you kind of and R for a minute. And all it says is yellow musk. Good luck.
This book, useful. I just whispered to it. Useful as always. Close it, put it away. Well, I don't know if any of you guys know anything. All I've got is the words yellow musk, which to me means jack We should try and shoot them with something with fire, though.
Okay, do I know anything about yellow musk?
Yellow musk is not a natural plant to this region. There were severe warnings about it, and that's about it.
That stuff is bad and not natural to this area.
As I said, let's shoot it with fire.
Okay. That sounds...
What
I heard you like blowing stuff up.
It's a touchy subject. Okay, I cast Firebolt at it.
He casts Firebolt. The Firebolt kind of sizzles against it and burns away some of the leaves. And the vine mostly stays there.
Well, look,
that's it.
I wasn't sure if that was going to work, but I just really wanted it to work because it would have been cool if it just exploded. Worth a shot, though, right?
Okay, it looks like we're going downstream. I turn and head away from the boulders and start wading downstream.
Start wading down. You wade into the water. It only goes up to about ankles, so you're not completely unencumbered.
It's a shallow wade.
Yeah. As you kind of walk through, trying to keep your tail out of the water, because nobody likes a wet tail, if you know what I mean. Just as you walk, you continue into the darkness.
Is anyone coming?
I follow. Holding up my robes.
Like a dress.
Yeah, I follow.
You kind of you use the dim light to make your way down. It takes you about an hour of walking.
Is it dark?
It's like dim. There's like dim light.
Can I check the paper, the ripped paper, see if there's any messages or anything?
No, there's no messages on the ripped paper.
Can I just draw a question mark on it to see if it still works?
Yeah, you do. The ink kind of sits there for a very long time. You don't see it disappear or anything.
Told you it was broken.
Oh, I wonder how that happened.
Because you ripped it in half.
No, it was broken before I ripped it in half. I was ripped it in half so no one else could try and fix it.
That makes 0 sense.
No, it makes perfect sense if it was broken.
You lack in logic for a scholar.
Yet I was the only one able to communicate on the parchment.
That's not true, because Cornelius sent a message in the first place, which
He
got a
sent
response.
a message in common. I responded in hieroglyphics.
As you keep walking, you descend, and then all of a sudden, the water keeps on going to the left, and then there's an exposed like opening in the wall that kind of goes up onto a tiled floor.
I'm just going to press on up the direction that I can see.
As in, you've either got to go left where the water continues, or are you just going to go through the wall?
Well, I can't see through the wall, can I?
No, there's an
There's
opening
an
in the wall.
opening in the wall.
Oh, is there an opening in the wall?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll bust through the hole in the wall.
Yep. It is. You don't need to bust through it. Like, it is a clear opening that you can just walk into.
Oh, okay. I was
Disappointed?
imagining some kind of like small collapsed thing that...
What
can
you
I
can see is a
see?
corridor, a very long corridor, with a doorway probably about 20 meters to your right. You see a doorway, and then the corridor keeps going as well.
I'll tell you what. I'll scout down to the end of this to peek around the end of the corner in the water.
Yep. As you move up, it ends pretty quickly. It ends pretty quickly. What you see is the water has leaked into what seems to be some kind of... It's a small room that's been barred up. Across from you can see a body on a table. But you can also see a pretty large, shiny chest.
I yell back, body, chest.
Okay, I go have a look at whatever Lief is looking at.
Well, I'm just going to head towards the chest and the body.
Well,
so he can
there's
follow
bars
with me.
in between you and the room.
Yeah, I want to get as close as I can, though.
Like, you are right up against the bars.
Oh, I thought I was back a bit.
Am I strong enough to bend the bars?
They actually look reasonably rusted from the water that's been flowing past them.
Well, I am going to give them a pretty good effort at bending or breaking those bars so that we can squeeze a little half-elf or something
Yep, sure.
into that room.
Sure. I'll get you to make a strength check for me. So yeah, roll your d20 and just try to do it. You kind of... and then the bars kind of snap into powder between your hands, leaving a decent-sized hole in the bars.
Good effort there, Chamanzard.
It's impressive.
Nailed it.
I'm going to move toward the body.
You're going to move towards the body?
Can I fit through as well?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
As you see, the body is lay on the table kind of surface, but the body has a large yellow flower kind of growing out of its head, and most of its body is kind of got vines wrapped around it.
Can I look over the body to see if there's anything?
How are you
That's
looking over your body? Are you looking with your eyes or with your hands?
Just with my eyes.
Just with your eyes?
For anything that's not like vines or plant, like something that's maybe
Do an
left-
investigation check for me.
Yeah, can I also look and try and figure out what's wrong with the body?
Yep, do an investigation check.
I'm just sort of passively
21.
observing.
21.
I've only got 4.
4. Like, Lief, you just have this moment of, holy plant's like growing out of its head. What the fuck? You can see
How perceptive.
the body, Cornelius. It seems to be almost the muscular structure of the body seems to be maintained. It hasn't deteriorated too much. It's still got most of its muscles needed in its arms and its legs. You can't quite tell what killed it. You can't determine whether the plant is the thing that killed it or if the plant came afterwards.
Yeah, I've got no idea what's up with this.
Me neither, to be honest. And I'm a scholar.
How about you guys avoid the dead body if you're not sure what it's about, and just
I'm gonna go
just
open the chest. Yeah.
Can we check the chest for traps?
As you walk away, you, Cornelius, see the arm of the body swing out and try and hit Lief.
What the fuck? It's alive!
Where it misses completely, but the body starts to get up off the table. Everybody roll initiative. Okay, Charlidros, you have just seen this body's arm kind of like lash out at Lief as he tries to walk away.
So what I'm going to do is head down, just try and ram my way through the bars.
Yep, sure thing. Roll a strength check for me.
24.
24, yeah, you come smashing through, taking out the rest of the bars. From the impact of using your head as a battering ram, you do take 2 damage.
Fine. Can I also use then action surge
Yep, action surge to get another action. Yep.
to get another go? And I'm whipping. I'm pulling my 2 whips out and going for the old 1-2 on this thing that's swung out at Lief while he's not paying attention.
Yeah, you unravel the whips. And lash out twice, scathing through and creating large lashes through down the body of the creature. But no blood seems to come out of it.
How peculiar.
I back away. Like
Yep.
into the corner.
To the corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I cast Firebolt.
You cast Firebolt? Sure, go for it. As you manage to throw the Firebolt at the creature, it seems to just hit like the toe.
I do like a 6 skid. I want to do a 6 skid across the ground, like back towards where the bars are, or where the bars were.
Yep. You kind of back up. It's going to get to take another swing at you.
Am I that close?
Yeah, you're close enough. You were like next to the table when you were. Yeah, it misses as you back up again.
Then I want to turn around and cast Fairy Fire at it.
Okay, Fairy Fire. Sure, it has to make a Dexterity saving throw. It rolled a 14, but has -1 Dex to make it 13. So as you do, in a cube around the creature, this bright light irradiates. So all attacks on that creature now have advantage. And with that, it is the creature's turn as it kind of gets up off the table and shuffles on over to Lief. Dylan, you take 7 damage as it smacks you in the side, punching you pretty hard.
Golly gosh.
I yell out, I'm going to need help!
So from where I am, I'm going to sort of move around behind the creature with his focus on Lief and just take the old 1-2 with the whips at him.
Sure, yeah, you manage to get behind him and you start smashing into him with whips. Go for it.
And 8.
8 and 8. The creature falls and then stands back up. The creature falls and then rises very slowly.
This thing's taking a bit of a pummeling, guys. Try and get yourself safe. Out of the water, maybe, if you can. I have an idea.
What is the rectangular thing that I'm next to?
It's like a table.
Okay, can I jump up on the table then?
Yep, sure.
Crouching like a weenie.
You said get out of the water!
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I don't think you're a wuss.
And I cast Firebolt again.
You cast Firebolt. Yep, sure. Roll to hit.
11.
11.
Yep.
That's a hit.
On the toe again?
No, you hit fairly firmly in the back of the creature. The creature again falls. The creature dies. The creature stands back up and then finally falls into an ashy heap at the feet of Lief.
Wow, that was very cowardly of me.
What the fuck just happened?
I think you contributed, so I'm happy enough.
Do you see the amount of pain I'm in?
Oh, sorry, Lief. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Cornelius. Are you okay?
No! I rip into my backpack and I pull out one of my lesser health potions and pop that sucker. I feel good, boys. I feel good.
It's good to see you with a spring back in your step.
I get down from the table.
I'm going to the chest. I want to open the chest. I'm excited.
As you open the chest, inside you find 2 things. One is a small coin purse, which contains about 130 gold pieces.
Now, do the coins look like proper coins, or do the coins
They're
have smiling
proper
faces
coins.
on them?
They're proper coins.
Okay, how many?
130.
I guess.
And then there is a glowing sack.
Glowing sack.
A glowing sack.
Oh, I'm opening that.
So it's empty. Nothing's in it. It glows.
The sack itself glows?
Yes,
or...
yeah, like there's like a vibrating, like almost energy coming from the sack itself.
Interesting. I hold it up to show everyone, like kind of just hold it up in front of everyone's faces in the room.
Does that look like anything I've ever seen before?
Or I've seen, yeah.
You can roll an Arcana check.
Well, I got a 1.
Yep, you don't. No idea.
Do I know what it is?
What did you roll?
I rolled a 5.
No, you got no idea. It's a glowing sack. It's magical.
Can I take out my book and search for anything about glowing items of any sort?
Yeah, sure. You take out your book, and it says, "Put something in it, dummy."
I'm gonna put my coin sack in it.
Yeah, you go into the coins into it. As you do and you let go, the coins disappear.
Well, we never really had them in the first place, did we?
Look, I
suppose
appreciate
if they're
you
gone.
looking for silver linings here, but for a split moment there, I had extra gold.
As you say, I had extra gold with your empty hand in the bag, the gold purse appears in your hand.
I had extra gold. I had extra gold.
It doesn't work anymore.
Oh my god! That's a real life bag of holding. I've never seen a bag of holding before. That's incredible. You made the coins went in there, and then they weren't there anymore, and then you thought about the coins, and then they came back. Unbelievable. That is totally cool. I'm sorry, I'm not meant to say cool anymore. I'll be quiet.
What are you on about, child?
What is...
So it's a bag of holding. It's
Obviously,
like a magic
that's old bags.
Saying the same thing again doesn't explain it.
So you put stuff in there and it like goes into another dimension, and then when you want it back, you put your hand in there and think of it, and then it comes back.
How do you know this?
I read books.
Same.
I read more books.
How about you get in the f***ing bag?
Organic material doesn't work very well in.
I'll tell you what, if Charlidros ever got into this bag, I'll never get him back. I don't know how to say his name.
I'm far too large for the bag, and we found out that all you need to do is think about the object, not say it.
Right, well, they'll come in handy. Stick that in
I'm
my
not
bag.
going to lie, I'm quite disappointed that it didn't replicate the amount of gold that was in that bag.
No, that's what I thought was going to happen.
I was
getting quite
hoping that-
excited. I was getting quite chuffed, actually, yeah.
Put in a small piece of gold,
Yeah.
multiple pieces of gold come in.
Yeah, would have been good.
Yeah. Well, maybe that will be on another expedition.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to stick it in my bag. Let's. I might just hold on to this bag of air. Hold on to the bag of air. I'm going to hold on to the bag of holding, guys, and I start walking back down the water towards the.
Is that of any use to
area.
us at this point? Is there anything that we're carrying that we could do with just getting rid of?
No.
Not yet.
Nothing
Hopefully.
holding you down.
Hope
Oh
that will
man,
come in
we're
handy
going to
and
put the
sneak in that
spear in there,
spear.
aren't we?
And there's this vault that we're looking for as well. Hopefully there's a lot of gold in there that might be a bit too heavy to carry.
I yell back, "Are you guys coming?"
Yeah, we're coming.
Yep.
I'd bust a move out. And I'm actually going to sort of scoot past Lief and start down the corridor.
Okay.
And I'll sort of stop at the crossroads and look down both directions and see what I can see.
As you look in, you see a very dimly lit room.
Nothing else?
Not really. You can't really see anything.
Well, I'm going to YOLO the out of it and go straight into this dimly lit room.
Yep. What you see is 3 bodies, all of them chained to the walls, but with plants growing out of them in different areas of their bodies.
I feel like we need to just creep out of this room and keep going down the corridor. Can I do some like extra good look around the room and see if there's anything we might want?
Do an investigation check. The only thing you notice is, and you would know this from your time in Silverkeep, one of them looks like was wearing the robes of a cleric, and he has a small satchel.
I'm pretty tempted by the satchel this cleric is wearing in here, guys. But I don't know if it's worth a fight against another 3 of those undead plant creatures. What do you reckon?
Are they alive? I walk down and stand next to Charlidros so I can have a look.
Well, they appear to be dead, but so did the one in the previous room.
Can I use Mage Hand to pick up the satchel?
Yeah, all right. You can try. Do a concentration check. So roll a d20 and add your constitution to it.
4.
For as you concentrate, the bag tears, and you do get it about halfway across the room before the hand drops it, and the zombie like creature starts moving around. It is chained to the wall, so it can't really get any closer. But it starts fidgeting around and making quite a lot of noise.
Which one of them was it?
Number 1.
Okay.
Do you want to grab that?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the satchel.
Yep. As you grab the satchel, you notice the door behind you start to kind of slowly close.
Can I biff the satchel out underneath the door as it's closing?
Yep, which you do. You manage to slide it under as the door gets about halfway down.
And then I'm going to try and bust a move underneath the door myself.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw for me.
A dexterity
No, actually,
saving throw.
make either an athletics or an acrobatics.
8.
You manage to get through, and then you feel a very sharp, pincing pain.
It's caught my tail. Ow.
As you take 1 damage as you lose 2 inches of your tail.
Oh dear.
Oh, dear.
Sting.
Does it grow back? You know, like a
I don't think I'm a lizard.
like a lizard.
There had better be something with it in that bag.
We look through the bag.
Yeah,
through
did
the bag?
anybody bother to pick the bag up after I
don't
threw
think
it out to
I'm
you?
not even in the room.
Yeah, you are. What? No, you're
You're
not.
in the You're back out in the corridor.
We're all back out in the corridor, and we've avoided that battle. For now, at least. Maybe.
What's in the bag?
Awfully convenient that door started closing, right? That was weird.
Maybe don't go charging into places next time, eh? You've got a lesson now. You've lost a bit of tail as a reminder.
Is it bleeding profusely, or is it just...
I'm going to promise you nothing at this point, Lief.
The tail is bleeding, yes.
I looked, and I double looked, and I couldn't see shit, so I went in.
Well, as we've said, I told you about a couple of hours ago. You need to get your eyes tested.
And now, we've got this bag.
What's in the bag?
In the bag is a small black book and 3 standard health potions. All considering what you've got in your bag, so you know they're standard health potions.
I pass a potion to Chamazard. I pass a potion to the one on my left and say, here you go, young chap. Then I grab the book, chuck the bag that was in on the ground, and I start flicking through the book.
The book you're flicking through is written in some kind of weird, like, kind of language or coded text.
Right, so as I'm flicking through it, I can speak 4 languages, can't understand shit in this. I pass it to my left and go, here, do you know something?
Am I smart enough to crack the code?
Not in the current situation.
This might be something to figure out later when we're not in a dungeon. Potentially getting attacked by witches at any moment.
This could be a second quest. Yeah, so it's actual code. It's not. It's not just a language that we don't understand.
What does the first sentence say?
Ixnay on the fixnay in the rixnay on the sneeble schnovel schnoff.
It's incomprehensible. There's no way we can figure this out. I'm going to need a lot of books and a lot of time.
All right, well, you hold on to that. You hold
We
on to
have
that. And figure it out when you've
Neither
got...
book's not time.
You figure that out when you've got a spare moment. Let's continue up the river here, shall we, lads?
Now, are we not busting
I mean,
through
up
down
the hallway.
corridor? Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I still felt wet. For a moment there, I thought I was still in the river.
All right, I'm charging down the hallway.
You charge down the hallway.
Why are you always running?
Why are you always dawdling?
You come to a corridor with two small jail cells, like either side, and the corridor straight through.
Well, as we walk past, is there people in the jail cells?
Well, Dylan, because you're looking at the jail cells, Mr. Lief, you can make a dexterity saving throw as an arm comes dashing outside of the cell in an attempt to grab you.
8.
Managed to just get out of the way, like literally it rips the edge of your robe
Hell.
as it kind of starts grabbing out at you through the bars.
More plant zombies, I presume.
Jeez, they're very handsy, aren't they?
They always
Trying
are.
to grab us.
They always are. I'm just going to keep
Does it-
walking. I'll just keep walking.
Just gonna keep walking.
Can I carefully look inside to see if it is a plant zombie person?
Before you see a half elf female. Her eyes are glossed over and dead. Her clothes are ragged, very old. And even though she's looking directly at you, you can tell there's no human soul or anything there.
Nope, I keep walking. And avoid the other jail cell.
You walk through until you reach the edge of a room. This room is covered in vines. There is a pool of water flowing out of the sides. There is a small doorway to one side to the other opposite edge of the room that is currently draped in the vines as well.
Can we see that?
You can indeed.
What was the pool? What was flowing? It's like huge water.
There's like a pool of water that's breaking through the wall
Okay.
and forming a small pool in the middle of the room.
Is the wall like it's water just breaking through the wall from?
Yeah.
I can't see like where it's coming from. It's not like a hole above
Not
it.
really. It's just kind of coming through the wall.
Is it seeping or flowing or
It's like flowing.
busting a move into the middle of the room?
What happens as you walk into the room? A very large yellow plant pushes its way out of the water, opening up its petals completely, staring at you. As it does, some vines around the room open up and release bodies that fall flat on the floor.
I give it the middle finger. All right.
How much damage does that do?
I don't think that's a real action.
The damage takes 1 point of self-esteem damage, and everybody roll for initiative.
So there's just one standing in water. There's two. There's one behind that idiot. One behind that. Why the did you... Can I first yell out, why the did you charge in there?
If you hadn't realised that's what I do already, you haven't been paying attention.
I'll cast Witch Bolt at number 2.
You you point your hand and out erupts like a purple glowing ball of energy that fires its way into number 2, dealing 5 damage. The ball of energy continues to pulsate in the body of the creature.
Lief, do I need to be concerned about this this spell?
No,
It's not going to explode and kill me.
no.
I'm going to take a step to the... sort of away from where the guys are at the entrance of the room to stand beside number 2. Take 2 lashings at him from the side.
Yep, sure. Go for it. You turn around in the same movement, you unravel your whips, and you kind of become a tornado of dragon-headed whips, and you lash into it several times, creating like gashes all through the creature as it kind of remains on the floor. Number 1 now shambles over to you after getting up and tries to hit you. That'll be a 14, which will miss because your armor class is 16. You feel this You hear this dull thud as it slams its fist into your armor. Your armor taking the full brunt of the hit, and it just kind of does any damage to you whatsoever.
Can I flip it the double bird from over my shoulders?
Flip it with double bird. Then with the vine, the flower moves forward towards you and stops.
So if I move next where between 2 and 3, is that 15 feet to all the other ones?
Yep. Everything. Actually, no, that's perfectly.
Okay, so I go there and then I cast Thunderwave and use my sculpt spell to make sure Charlidros and Lief aren't affected. So 7 damage.
So 7 damage.
Yep.
So literally, Cornelius runs up, slams his hand into the ground, creating this thunder wave of energy, which magically kind of formulates and avoids both yourself and Lief, Charlidros, and does damage, blowing all of them away 10 feet, and absolutely destroying and scattering the body parts of number 2 against the wall next to you.
I'm gonna stay where I am. Quite happy here. Cast chill touch on number 3.
Sure. You see this skeletal hand reach out of the abyss and grab onto the shoulder of number 3. The icy damage draining into its body, and then the hand dissipates.
Well, I'm gonna bust a move over to number 1 and give him the old lash.
Yep. As you lash into it, one of its arms falls off before creepily it kind of crawls back up its body and reattaches itself.
What are these things?
And it's still ready to fight. Then it'll be number 1's turn to take a hit. In that one, it swings with the arm that has just gone to attack you. It's just that you've just hit off, and the arm goes flying across the room and falls into the pool of water. With that, number 4, as the vine starts slowly wrapping forward. Okay. Then it will be number 3's turn. It runs towards you, Dylan, and at the last second it kind of trips on the vine and goes for a swing against you and misses completely. And then Cornelius, it's your turn.
Get him, Cornelius.
I guess I cast Firebolt.
Yep. You have to be a bit further away or you'll have disadvantage.
Okay, well, I will... Do I have to disengage or am I...
No, you can...
No, I'm good?
No, you're far enough away where you
Okay,
can
well, I move back towards, as far as possible, to Charlidros. And then I cast Firebolt at number 3.
And then you cast Firebolt, sure thing.
8.
8 is a miss. As you send the firebolt flying, it actually hits and scatters across the vines on the wall, completely doing nothing. And then at the end of your turn, it'll be Lief's turn.
How close is it to me? I can't run.
It's up in your grill, man.
Well, you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna pull out that. I'm pulling out that magical singing dagger, and I'm gonna go sticking it right in its head.
All of a sudden, you hear coming nowhere. All of a sudden, lashing through the room, you hear, "Everybody stop now!" Ba 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 ba.
I nod my head as I whip it out.
You stab it as you hear, as it stabs and lands into the head of the creature, doing damage. As it's inside the creature's head, it's really muffled. As you pull out the blade, it kind of keeps going.
Does it do some bonus ice damage because it comes from the land of the ice and snow? We'd really appreciate that at this point.
Oh god.
I can see that Lief is having a rough time in the corner, so I'm going to bust a move to help him out.
You look over, realize
Cornelius can get away as well. If he needs
You
to.
didn't notice previously, but after the singing of the dagger being used, you know wrong over there. So you, as you kind of are squinting, waiting for the creature to hit you, Lief. All of a sudden, you see two whips come over the top and smash into the creature in front of you. The creature kind of stands shambled a bit, but is very damaged now, thanks to your pal.
I hold up my dagger and yell,
Number 1 is now going to scurry its way on down and make friends with Cornelius. As it swings, it misses again, punching the wall. Number 4's turn. Okay. So that'll be a 14, which I think is your armor class.
13.
13's your armor class. Yeah, it hits. And you will take 7 damage as it punches you in the face.
Ah!
I'll do Thunderwave again.
Doing Thunderwave again?
Yeah, I'll take out number 4 again, won't I? From this distance.
3. Yep. That'll work on both the ones around you.
Yep.
Doing Thunderwave, I'll do both their dex saving throws. Number 1 failed. They both fail.
Cool, I did 14 damage.
14 damage to both?
14 each, yeah.
Did you roll? You rolled
I rolled
two
6
sevens?
and 8.
You see 2 of the petals like rip off of the larger flower, like falling to the floor. The zombie gets blown away and dies.
I'm still just stuck right up in its face. So I'm gonna grab the side of its head and its right side of its head and go for the old bring head to dagger, like a meat in the middle kind of action, like a good old smash-a-rooney.
Okay. Yeah, a good old smash-a-rooney. As you do, you hear all of a sudden as the dagger is singing, "We've known each other for so long. You know the rules, but now you're dead." As it snaps into the head, the creature's head falls off from the rest of the body, falling limp. The head still stuck to the end of your dagger.
I shake the dagger off and so the head goes flying across the room.
Head goes flying, and now we're gonna turn around and decapitate you. That is dead, son.
As it drops, I say, "What up, Charlidros?"
Hello, Lief. One day you'll get it. I'm pleased to see that you're safe, though.
All right. Can I walk? Can I walk more towards, up next to him? I suppose, facing 4. I want to look like a cool Avengers, walking towards it with my dagger out, Yeah, everyone, come on! I'm walking down, hands in there, come on, guys!
Was that Top Gun? Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and just blast that pool that the flower is in. The flower is in the pool of water, isn't he?
It's kind of yeah.
Either way,
I'm gonna blast the pool of water with my.
Are you gonna move to do it, or are you just blasting it from where you are?
Yeah, I'm gonna go from where I am because I know that it can't move particularly far. We've managed to see that so far.
From your maw unleashes a ray of lightning energy that flies forward into the pool.
6 damage.
Yep, you cry, and some of the leaves on the plant start to wilt slightly as it kind of moves in the water and rashes around.
Cornelius, do you want to investigate the exit door over there? If you can safely.
Okay. That was really cool. Does it hurt your mouth when you do that?
No. It actually surprisingly doesn't feel like much.
Say cool again.
Sorry.
As you guys are talking, you don't notice as the plant moves forward, 2 of its petals that it had been lost regrow as it wraps itself around Leif's head. As Lief, you take 10 damage.
I'm dead.
As you go unconscious. The creature, the plant, starts to grab onto you closer.
Okay, well, I stand next to Lief. Leif's dead, unconscious body, and I do Thunderwave.
And the creature is blown across the room. Lief, make a death saving throw for me.
Fail.
So I'm going to put myself between Lief and Cornelius and the big plant.
Yeah?
Yep.
There?
As far away as I can and still reach him with my whips. Give him the old 1-2. 20 and 7.
The first one hits, the second one misses.
6 damage.
6 damage.
I'm still of the opinion we should investigate getting the fuck out of here, lads. Once we get Lief back.
Okay, I get one of my standard health potions and feed it.
Yeah, sweet. So roll 4d4 plus 4.
4d4s. 10.
10. So Lief gains back 10 life, so you're back at 10. And you regain consciousness.
Oh, thank you.
I slap him across the face a couple of times to make sure he gets up.
Ow,
You deal
fine.
10 damage to him in slaps.
Damn, my strength!
Thanks for the save.
Yep, we gotta go kill a plant.
Hey, it's good to see you, Lief. From what I can tell so far, this plant can't move further than my whips. So we should be able to just keep it at whip's length and keep it at bay. Either while we escape or... I'm actually pretty keen to try and kill this thing.
I thought you wanted to escape before.
All options. I'm a military man. You have to consider this, but primary objective is to kill this thing.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna... Just give me a moment to gain myself. I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire.
All of a sudden, this yellow plant starts to glow in multicolored lights, making it much easier to hit.
Have at it, boys. I move back before ending my turn a little bit.
A little bit? Like, where exactly do you want to move
As
to?
far back as I can go, so I can reach all the way back to the end of the wall, can't I?
Yeah. You went from, I'll move back a little bit, to, I'll across the other side of the room.
Yeah, by a little bit. I mean, get the out of town.
Okay, with that, Charlidros, it's your turn.
1-2, motherfucker.
You start to rip as you tatter and tear through most of its petals. It struggles to stay up, but it continues its path forward. Some of the petals instantly regrow.
I would like to step backwards a little bit because I can.
One square?
Yeah, I can because I can attack it from outside of range that it can't still hit me on the next move.
Yep.
I know that.
Yep. Okay. All of a sudden, it kind of points the petals in the air and releases these spores into the air. I would like both Cornelius and Charlidros to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Piss.
21. 21.
21 and 1. You kind of, the spores, you inhale them, Cornelius, and you kind of just shake it off, feeling a bit woozy for a second. All of a sudden, Charlidros, this is the goddamn most beautiful plant you have ever seen. You are charmed by it. Why would this plant want to hurt you? Why would anybody want to hurt the plant? That's so ridiculous. It's just, like, why would, this is the most beautiful plant in the world. You should, like, definitely not harm it at all. As you've been charmed by the creature.
Losing my desire to battle.
Alright, I move to right next to where the exit is. Like,
Yep.
yeah. Like, come on, Charlidros, let's get out of here. And then I cast Firebolt.
Yep, sure.
22.
22, that's a hit. 3 damage.
5.
You burn off one of this. The plant actually further wilts a lot more than it has previously, as it is now Lief's turn.
What are you doing? How could you attack such a beautiful plant?
Sure, Schmazard. I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt.
Yeah, gosh, which what? Do it.
3.
3 damage.
Yeah.
And then Charlidros, it's your turn.
I want to attack it, but I'm not allowed.
For all you know, this is your new best friend, this plant. This plant's amazing.
I'm just gonna stand in the same spot, staring admiringly.
Yep, sure. And then at the end of your turn, I'll
'Cause
get
I
you to make
can't
another
do fuck.
wisdom saving throw to try and shake it off.
Sake. 2.
Nope, it's still beautiful. And as it goes, you think, oh my god, this plant is going to give me a beautiful, beautiful hug.
I certainly do think that.
Which, as a 16, it hits your AC. 14 damage.
Hell.
As it snaps you out of your charm, you suddenly realise, bad plant, bad plant, bad plant. It then kind of grows, perhaps pushes back off you, and you see it trying to struggle to like regrow part of itself and fail, and stay there looking at you.
We're doing it damage, guys. It's struggling to regrow itself again. Oh, if you can thunderclap him away from me, I'd really appreciate that.
Unfortunately, I'm spent in that regard. So I cast another firebolt.
As you launch the firebolt from your hand, it spins and spirals, smacking the plant straight into the center of its petal of its head. All of a sudden, the plant spins, and then it turns into the most beautiful array of colors within the fire, until it withers up and dies on the floor.
Right.
That was close and a fantastic battle, gentlemen.
I pull out my book and just start writing down notes of this battle.
As you kind of sit and collect yourself, about a moment later, all of a sudden a trap door above your heads opens up. A light shines in. You see 3 figures stood in the light. You suddenly hear, "You can try your luck with the flowers, Ranger!" And suddenly you see this body tumble from the trapdoor, and the trapdoor slam behind him. This figure of this almost dwarf-like creature goes smash and lands into the pool in front of you.
Who the is that? And who the is that up there? I start walking over to where the body landed.
What is going on?
You walk over, turn it over to see the bald-headed, bearded dwarf that you may believe is Verdak. Okay, are they gone? Are the zombies gone? Has the flower been killed? Yes? Oh, excellent. And what a strange predicament our adventurers find themselves in again. A dwarf has fallen from the sky and landed right in their laps, with not a single hair on his head except for his beard. So that means there was lots of... No, never mind, don't worry about that one. Come back next time for more tales. Much more to see, and for our adventurers to do.
The Tales of Theldan is an Explosion Network production. Written by Kieran Marchant, world and scenario by Kieran Marchant, played using 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Sound mixing and post-production by Dylan Blight. Music and sound effects resources available at explosionnetwork.com. Cast of characters: Dylan Blight as Lief Estelle, Ashley Hobley as Cornelius Bannister, Thomas Marshall as Charlidros, with Kieran Marchant as the Dungeon Master.